Welcome, everybody, to Underground Noise. This is Alex. I'm the creator behind Underground Noise. This is webisode number 7. And I'm here with Mike Poggione. He's played in many bands like Monstrosity, Lacheris Nocturne, Execration, to name a few. Welcome, Mike. How you doing?
Doing good, man. It's been a good weekend in general, and thanks for having me over here. I appreciate it. Sounds good.
Thanks for giving me a chunk of your time. I do appreciate that as well. And you're welcome.
No worries.
Right on. First off, I'd like to ask you, who are your musical influences?
Well, I mean, when it comes to metal itself or death metal, I'm probably midline old school. If anything, when I grew up, in the Florida scene, it was always, Deicide, Cannibal, Morbid, Malevolent, Obituary. I definitely would have to say, like, the band-wise would be a definite Florida scene. If you're referring to like bass players and so on, or musicians itself, that's a lengthy list. But I would definitely say what really got me into things, when I was real younger, like middle school, it was kind of like, like hard rock, hair metal, and then I found thrash and death metal, and then that was kind of the progression in general. Guns N' Roses were a big influence on me, like when I was, I don't know, like 8, 9, whatever, and 10, and Slash was an influence, and I just wanted to do something with music, and that kind of just went from Motley Crue and Metallica and the standard progression, Slayer and Megadeth, and then death metal itself. I think the Covenant CD from Morbid Angel is definitely like the defining piece for me at that time. What direction I was really into and stuff.
Are there any bands that you haven't toured with that you've always wanted to tour with?
Well, I haven't toured with Morbid Angel. I mean, we played some shows with them. We played shows with Cannibal, but like just one-offs, or or festivals, or just one-off shows. I don't know. At that time, like in the late '90s, when I got into the actual like scene itself in Florida, it would have been cool to have done something with Morbid at that time, or even like on the Domination tour, but it just never happened. So, I mean, God, I'd really have to think about that question about who I'd like to tour with. I don't know. It's a variety of groups, I guess. Would have been cool to have done something in my career with like Satyricon or Emperor. That'd been kind of cool. So I tried out for both of those too, but it didn't work out. Too far away. But, yeah,
I can understand that. The distance does make a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah. And like of course, in general, like I used to talk with Frost at times, and he'd be like, you blah blah blah. We know, you work out somewhat well, but like you got to get here, you got to live here, and we can't support you in any way at all. So that was a little difficult. Like, well, thank you. It's not happening. So, yeah.
Are there any countries in the world that you haven't seen that you've always wanted to check out?
Ooh, I haven't been anywhere near the Australia area. That would be kind of nice to get over that way. Like New Zealand, that's kind of on the list. Only Scandinavian places I've been to are just like Denmark. I haven't even, and that's a shame. Like a majority of the tours we do, especially with Monstrosity, we're kind of like staple country tours, like Central Europe. I was able to do a lot of East Europe with a group called Skinned, but I'd like to go to Norway or play a show in Sweden. That's kind of like a dream still, or Iceland or something like that. I don't know. That's kind of difficult, and depending who you're with, and the package, and the money, and the ferry, and blah blah blah. It all just comes down to money and like promoters, and if it's worth their while to do it or not. So,
yeah. I can understand that.
Yeah. Imagine that, money, business. So,
yeah, it definitely puts a hole in the pocket sometimes.
Well, it can. I mean, things were pretty unstable and odd at the moment with the whole COVID thing. I haven't done anything in like 2 years. I think I saw in my little photo memory garbage. Like 2 years ago, yesterday was the last European tour we did with Monstrosity. It's been 2 years already. I ain't done shit since then. I think we did like a Brazil show. Maybe that was later. I don't even know. But it's been like 2 years since because of the pandemic. So, yeah. And everything that's been canceled last year, it was rescheduled for this year. It seems to be canceled again. So like 2022, I guess. I don't know, man. This year's almost somewhat, well, half over almost. Well, at least, quarter plus. But I see that some shows are coming back. I guess. I don't know. I see a few things online.
From all the songs that Monstrosity has written, which one did you find to be the most difficult to play? And also, which one have you found to be your favorite?
Ugh. Well, you could say in general, anything off the Millennium CD is a rather, you know, challenging. At that time, when Kelly Conlon was in the band, he did that CD, and then there was Jason Morgan, or Tux, call him, just phenomenal guitar player, and just that CD was quite, somewhat difficult, and I had some pretty decent shoes to fill when Kelly left. So anything off the Millennium, even like Fatal Millennium or Dream Messiah, any song on that CD's, step up a little bit. I guess some of the favorite stuff I would have to be like probably off the Imperial Doom album, just maybe Sermon on a Void or Imperial Doom itself, just because it's just brutal. There's nothing special or fancy or pretty about it. It's what metal should be. And I remember like blah 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 going back. I was in like high school, I don't know, like freshman or sophomore year, and I think I found out about Monstrosity with that "Death Is Just the Beginning" like that compilation. And I missed the real scene itself probably by like maybe 7 or 8 years. So I kind of got into things when things started to shit the bed, well, in my opinion, especially in Florida in the late 90s. But I kind of missed that early and mid 90s because I was too young. Um, but that CD, anything off the Imperial Doom is just, it's some good stuff to play. So, yeah.
What's your opinion on the album Rise to Power?
I like it. I mean, that's been a while ago. I remember doing that at Audio Hammer with Jason Hollywheels, Suckoff, or Sukoff, you can call him. Everybody knows him now at Audio Hammer, of course. And that was a fun CD. I don't know. I remember recording that and having some, party times at the studio. And that was a good CD. I don't know. We haven't played maybe lately, like maybe 2 or 3 songs off of that. So, yeah. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was reading your profile on Facebook, and I seen that you work in geriatric therapy. Can you tell me
Yeah.
a little bit more about that?
Yeah, man, I do physical therapy assistance. I do home health primarily, or sometimes I'll be in nursing homes or SNFs or, outpatients or hospitals, but primarily home health. I realized a long time ago that metal doesn't pay the bills unless you're in the right band. So when I was in my mid 20s, I went back to college again, second or third time, and just got an associate's degree in physical therapy. And then I've been doing that. That's my, like job or whatever you want to call it. So I have a pretty busy and pretty fruitful medical career or whatever. So that's cool. And, so that's, metal allows me to like travel and have fun. And, I got a decent job in the meantime, or, a really good job. So I'm pretty happy and fortunate with that. I primarily work with older people, a lot of post-surgery hips, knees replacements. Geriatrics, of course. Florida is a capital of older people for retirement center. I'm sure you know, and so there's a fair amount of business down this way. So,
Yeah, I can relate to that. My grandparents, they lived in Winter Haven.
yeah, it's about an hour for me. It's a beautiful area in general. Yeah.
Yeah, they lived there before they passed away years ago.
Yeah, man. So that's what I was doing earlier. I was talking to you. I needed some time, like I'm getting tomorrow's schedules and bullshit together. So
It's all good.
Yeah, man. It's really good.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate your time for sure, Mike.
No, it's cool, man. I appreciate the interview. I don't know. This year's been kind of weird. I've been doing a lot of session work at home, and that's about it. No shows. I don't work with any other bands live at the moment, but I've been pretty busy with session work to the point where I don't even remember some of the stuff I've done or do, or I got stuff that's still coming out from a year or two ago, and blah blah blah. And just, I will quickly name drop. I got a really cool project. It's not a project. It's my friend's group from Ukraine. It's called Lava, Lava. But I'll send you, like, I don't know if you saw it on my page today. I put up like a promotional clip from them. and it's going to be really killer. That's almost wrapped up. And I think that's one of like 3 or 4 things that I kind of got in the mix at the moment. So
That sounds cool.
yeah, it's actually good shit. I mean, I don't know. I've got a lot of people that want me to do some recordings for them, so I'm pretty fortunate with that. And it's not as busy, perhaps, as I'd like to be, or as profitable or work-wise in comparison. But it's where my passion is in general. So it's nice to at least be able to record, um, while everybody's not touring or doing anything at the moment.
I got a few more questions for you, Mike, if you don't mind.
Sure.
What type of gear do you use to create your sound?
Well,
like bass gear,
live, or just we talking live, or just as in
like both in the studio and live. Like,
well, the studio game has changed. In general, you would go to the studio, or like a real studio, like Morris Sound or Audio Hammer. A lot of the things these days, people have good technology at home and basic, fair sense of recording and yada yada. A lot of the stuff is done and at home and sent off to the studio and reamped or blah blah blah. I've learned in the last 5 years, you just really need a studio for the drums, and then basically vocals and guitars can be done at home. For myself, I'm using a high-level Focusrite Scarlett, which is about $100. It's top quality shit. I don't know, I'm joking. It's really good, actually. I've had it for 8 years. I mean, I'm not a studio guy. I'm not a gearhead. What I know is minimal from what I've been taught. I go directly into this, and I go into Pro Tools. I'm using a Spectre Euro 6 and dark glass preamps, EMG pickups, and I've crafted my own type of finger style to where I get a effing phenomenal, absolutely brilliantly phenomenal sound, in my opinion, very kindly, with my style, to where the producer can do whatever they want with it. I've learned a lot over the last many, 4, 5, 6 years about doing what's appropriate at home, to where I can send off a nice edited wave file, and that's it. And then it's up to the producer to kind of, do what they want with it. So if it comes to live stuff, usually I'm kind of fortunate enough to have a nice backline, and I'll usually ask for like an Ampeg, 810 or STV rig, or usually a lot of the stuff is provided, but usually we work with Massive Music, and they're pretty nice and specific and able to get us, whatever we want. And each person says, this is what I want to play through, and then it's provided for the tour, as a backliner. So, yeah.
cool.
Yeah. I'm also looking to get a new
Excuse me.
Spectre. Yeah, good, man. A new Spectre Dimension 5, one of the multi-scale basses. I'm still with Spectre officially. A year ago, I went to Germany, went to Warwick for my birthday. Supposed to get a deal with them. I pussyfooted around for 3 or 4 months about what bass I wanted. I just spoke with Hans the other day, and that endorsement is on hold at the moment because of COVID, supposedly. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to work with them. Wouldn't mind it. That's kind of a dream. But I'm still with Spectre, and I'm waiting on one of their these, the new fancy multi scales. Everybody's got to have one of those. So I'm going to check it out and just kind of go from there and stay with Spectre for a while.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, do you have any family members, like any children, or say any brothers or sisters that like the same style of music you do?
No, I'm lucky. I consider it lucky. I don't have any kids at the moment, so that's cool. But no, my parents, though, they're still alive. They're fucking kicking ass at 80, and they're still beyond supportive of what whatever I'm up to or not up to, or even when I was younger, like in the late high school days, they helped support me and were very supportive in traveling and touring and checking out the world and with the ups and downs. But yeah, so they're not really in the metal, but they support it.
I was about to ask as my next question, who are your biggest supporters? I guess you could say your parents, right? Any
well,
fans?
I have to say my wife, she's such a great supporter of my music and life. She's got a master's in music. She's from Ukraine, and she's totally in the metal and classical and all that shit. So that's a good bonus, to have someone on that just basic wavelength, and just musical interests. I got a few friends I still hang out with, from growing up high school days, but other than that, like I don't know, like I guess I'm supporting myself, whatever.
I'm
Yeah.
sure you got the fan support as well. You can't go wrong with that.
No, man, it's I'm pretty fortunate, at least a handful of people know me, I guess. I don't know. Of course, everybody knows like the main hot bass players these days, like Forrest and Kelligan or whatever, and fucking a couple other guys. Other than that, like I don't know. So.
It's kind of funny because some of my friends, like Lee, he's like, "Can you believe we're getting old? I'm almost in my 50s." I said, "I thought you already were." I mean, I'm in my early 40s, so I can't complain. You
Yeah,
know,
man, I just turned 42, and it's just so weird, dude.
same.
Yeah, like I just, I was doing this. I mean, Christ, like when I was 18, or when I started, I think it was Monstrosity was like 19, like 99 or 98. I'm like, damn, like it's already been like 20 years, dude. I don't know, man. Just
Um,
time is way too quick with anything these days. Way too quick.
yeah, it seems like one day you wake up, you're 7, the next day you're in your 40s. You're like,
I
how
guess,
this
yeah.
happen?
I tell you, my late 20s and 30s just seem to be just like a blur of just, I don't know, just every day's quick, and like I'm always doing something. So time's moving too quick. Slow it down. Back it
Are
up.
there any moments that you've had on stage that you can remember that have been life-threatening, or anything that's been embarrassing?
Well, knock on wood or whatever. I've never fallen on stage, so that's kind of cool. Head spinning or thrashing around. I've had a few close calls, so I've never fallen down and shit the bed on stage. That's good. Um, a dangerous time was in Chile. Was it Peru? It was Peru. I think it was Lima, Peru. And I know we had some South American tour, and it was with Monstrosity. And we were late to getting to the show, like not to our fault. We're at the hotel and waiting on transportation, but like the crowd, they were going ape shit. They were fucking angry, and like they were fighting each other. And when we got on stage, like there was a handful of just idiots that would throw bottles, and then other people in the crowd would kick the shit out of them. But I almost got hit with a couple
Ooh.
bottles. There's probably video footage or like pictures of me like swinging my bass at some fans, like on stage. And like police had to like we're talking like riot police, like I don't know, like third world, like the fucking battle shields, and like they circled us and like marched us through the crowd to get out of the venue. I think we played a couple songs and we're like, that's the end of it. But there was no backstage. Like the backstage was at the front of the house. So we're like, how are we going to get out of this stage? Um, yeah, not to puss out, but that was a little scary moment for sure. Like I was like, oh fuck, I'm gonna die in this shit box. Yeah, you know what I mean? Get stabbed or trampled by a a fucking angry group of Peruvian flakes. You know what I
Sounds,
mean?
yeah, sounds almost like a cereal, but I don't know.
I don't know, man. That was kind of scary, and I don't know. I'm trying to think of anything else that was like nothing too crazy. But that'll always stand like stand out in my mind. Of I hope we get out of here tonight. Everybody was definitely worried. So I don't know if they told you that, and if they said they weren't, they're probably bullshitting it because it was definitely a sketchy night. But here we are. Thank God.
Well, being a musician myself, I know sometimes some musicians deal with stalkers. Have you ever had any of those problems before?
No, no. I mean, I've had a handful of like appropriate into it type fans, or like just like sometimes in South America or like in Mexico and stuff, you get like some nice gifts. Or like I've had people like draw me things or make like candles with Monstrosity, or no, man, I can't think of anything that's been like adverse or like anything creep stalkers. Nope,
I
not yet.
figured I figured I would ask that only because I have never asked that question before.
No, man, I'm trying to think if I don't know. I've always had like like once in a while you run into someone on tour or just on the road, or you might have some like beef with them or some some disputes or arguments, or it might get a little physical. But I've never had like any like crazy stuff or any psycho stalkers. So. Maybe next year.
Only
I
time
don't-
will tell, bro.
yeah. I think I think I'm past that, but you never know. So yeah.
Do you have any hobbies outside of music?
Yeah, man. Usually when I have time, I like to try to go to the gym and stay strong and blah blah blah. I haven't been doing that for a while because I've been pretty busy with work. I do like athletics somewhat. I don't know, dude. I like comic books. I kind of used to collect when I was a kid. I'm starting to just go through my old collection. I used to draw when I was younger, but I guess in general, like I usually say like B and B, base beer and bud. That's the main three. So um, I live in Florida. I'm not really like a beach guy, even though it's kind of down the road. But I think like if I have free time, like I like to put on a show or a movie and just practice just techniques and just zone out and I like to do a lot of session recording. That's kind of my main things at the moment.
I can dig that.
Yeah, man. I mean, nothing crazy. So, you know, I'm in Florida, so it's usually hot. So majority of the time, I'm somewhat indoors because it's fucking hot out. But what's the temperature over there? Like 100? I don't know. Like you get 100 already?
Not quite. It's like in the 80s, but it
Well,
drops during the night, so it gets pretty chilly sometimes.
that's
We do
kind
get
of
snow here.
yeah, yeah. Well, what's your summer looking like? I mean, I can't.
Not
Isn't it
90s, hundreds,
okay?
almost like Arizona. Arizona is
Yeah,
even worse
yeah,
because I'm right next door to them, and I'm in between Arizona and Texas. So right below Colorado, you got New Mexico. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah, I haven't. It's been a while since I've been out there, but yeah, dude.
What was the first instrument you played?
Um, like when I was in fifth grade, I was playing a guitar. I kind of learned guitar to begin with. I was actually talking about that earlier. Like at that time, I went to Sears, Sears, and I got like a fake Stratocaster, like like $89. I still got the guitar and whatever in storage, but I played guitar for a while. I think the first thing I ever like recited or like did, as a recital with my music was like Silent Lucidity. I was actually listening to Queensryche earlier here today. But guitar was kind of my thing. Came or as high school came up or whatever. Uh, used to do like the band in school and like the bass player whatever flaked out, so I just switched over to bass and I kind of realized I really liked it, and I kind of realized that I could be pretty decent at it, and I love like that just that low end, like just that vibration and just power. So I kind of fell in love with that and just kind of got out of guitar. I kind of realized, there's a lot of guitar players, not as many bass players, not as many good bass players. So I just kind of got into that. I always wanted to do drums. I mean, my coordination isn't happening. I mean, I know what they're doing, but my feet and hands, they're just not doing it. So I don't even fuck around with that. Yeah.
If you could bring back one dead musician, who would it be and why?
Oh,
I'm sure you got a long list. I do
well,
too. If you need to name a few,
I
that's
mean,
fine too.
yeah, real quick. I'll probably bring back my friend Jeff Parrish, who used to be in Diabolic. I used to, when I started in the metal scene in Florida, there was a group called Execration. Not the Execration, I actually did session work. I forget where they're from, another maybe 2 years ago, but I miss him, and that was a shame that he passed on. If I did something mainstream, I mean, like I don't know, like Dime or Jeff Slayer. I've never seen Slayer in my life. That's an odd confession. I never have, and I really wouldn't want to these days. I don't even know. I think they broke up, or they'll probably get back or whatever. But God, I'm trying to think like classic wise or something, or I don't know. Yeah, maybe Jared Anderson, just because he was like a metal underground legend with Hate Eternal and Internus. I only met him once, just on a road and whatever festival show, and he was just a cool guy. And, but I never really knew him personally. But that was kind of a nice, or not a nice, but it was kind of a mark on the scene. And he passed away. It's a shame. But don't do drugs. Be careful, guys.
That's right.
Be careful what you're doing out there, man. I don't know. It's a shame. A lot of people are going, man. I mean, it's hard for me just to think off the top of my head, but it just seems like, you look around online, or especially now, dude, like, I'm 42, you're 42, mid 40s, 50s. A lot of the people that I grew up with, like I say, like the original scene that are about 10 years older than me, they're in their 50s. A lot of people are shitting the bed these days, they're passing on, time's moving quick and people are getting older, and you look back at a variety of lifestyles that these people probably lived and chose to begin with regarding booze or alcohol. And like, people need to learn how to balance that. Some people don't, some doors you don't even want to open to begin with. So like with some shit, I'll never even fuck with it. There's no point, because, you never know what might happen. So
Yeah.
What about you? Who do you think? You got anybody you'd bring back?
Actually, yeah, I would bring back Jeff Hanneman just because Jeff Hanneman.
Yeah.
Also, I'd bring back Dimebag Darrell from Pantera.
Yeah.
Not many people like to talk about him, but a lot of people do like his music. I liked it.
I love it, dude. I mean, but that was like a transitional point for me too, I guess, with like the whole high school thing, and Vulgar Display, and anything after that. At that time, I saw him like maybe 3 or 4 times in Daytona, of all places, at the Daytona Arena. Probably seen him with Typo Negative and a bunch of other things. But
Yeah.
I remember, man, like, we were younger, and like that was one of my bigger days. And dude, those pits would be crazy. Like, oh my God. I actually got a pic from him that I found on the floor. And I got like a ticket and like a little news article. Like I put it in a little frame. That was kind of cool. And, being like 13 or 14, you're just like, oh, that was pretty cool and shit. So
Yeah, I'd also bring back Lane Staley from Alice in Chains.
thank you. Yeah, that's not even there. It's it's so hard to think off the spot of my head. Dude, AIC. I mean, I listen to Dirt all the time.
That's my favorite of all time. That and
Oh
Facelift,
yeah.
Jar of Flies,
Yeah,
Sap.
yeah, that's untouchable stuff. Just yeah, like it's a shame he passed on. But I mean, I don't do. I bring back Kurt Cobain too. Like I was a big Nirvana guy. Like I said, like people are like, you're metal. Like I don't know, man. Like like when I got into metal, it was like mid to late '90s. Like it was a lot of it was already going on. I'm already like what 10 or 11. So like my my out my input on music was kind of what I caught when I was younger with the Headbangers Ball, and then with friends. So like what I mean, like I said, I did like that general rock to metal progression, then death metal. But yeah, dude, I mean, I listen to Alice in Chains all the time. That's a shame, but I listen to some of their newer stuff, and like yeah, it's cool and all, but I sometimes I just won't even fuck with it, because I don't want to taint the old feeling of the other singer, or Lane, or just stuff like that. So
Yeah. Another one for me would be World Dane from Nevermore and Sanctuary.
yeah, that's true. We played a few shows with him a long time ago. I mean, I've never been a real Nevermore friend. I've never been a Nevermore fan, really. It's kind of funny, but lots of respect, and it's just something obviously you're just aware of. And obviously Jeff Loomis,
Yeah, some of their songs definitely give me goosebumps, like The Heart Collector. That's definitely one of them.
I haven't heard that in ages. Jesus. Yeah,
Yeah, that
man. There's a
released
lot.
21 years ago. Can you believe that? Back in 2000.
Honestly, yes and no, but I don't know, man. Time is way too quick these days. So
Really is. Seems like the older we get, the faster it goes.
that's what I'm saying, man. That's always. I was told that when I was a kid. Like as you get older, time moves faster. I guess it's real. I don't know.
It does catch up to you.
Yeah, man, it does.
Well, Mike, do you have any last words for Underground Noise?
I don't know, man. I appreciate it. I've got some session stuff coming out with Lava from Ukraine. I was doing the new Aurora Borealis, but it didn't work out, so that's not happening. I got a lot of stuff coming out with a group or a project or a band called Band Whore, which has been going on for 4 or 5 years, which is like the ultimate all-star lineup of death metal musicians. It's with my friend Jim Ross, who's in Natter as well. And we've been working, well, it's his brainchild. It's a collection of probably 100 songs with the best of the best in the business. I'm still waiting for that to come out. I like stuff with like Kevin Talley, Derek Roddy, Steve Tucker. I don't even know, dude. I got a lot of stuff coming out. I'm still waiting on things that are coming out. a lot of stuff is paused because of the pandemic. Labels ain't doing shit. No one's picking up anything. Everything's just kind of on pause. But I don't know, man. The new monstrosity is essentially written from what Leah said. I've heard a variety of it. Who knows when and what we're going to do with that? It's kind of a shame we had our last release Passage of Existence, and we only got to tour Europe once on it, and then the pandemic hit. So, yeah, that's been 2 years almost, dude. Shit, maybe 3. I don't know. Fuck. Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. If anybody's into what I'm into, you can follow me on stupid Facebook or Instagram under my name. I don't know. I don't really do YouTube too much. I don't know. No one cares. But if you I don't know, dude. Only bass players that people care about these days is like Killigan and then like fucking Forrest. Like, those are the only 2 players in the world, I guess. Which they're very phenomenal. Good friends too. But I don't know, man. I appreciate the time, and I'll send you some stuff here after this, and feel free to add it or share it. And I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate your time as well. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Take care over there, and I'll be in touch sooner or later. And thanks for tonight, man. I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you as well.
All right, brother. Take care, man.
Rock on.
Late. See you later, man. Thank you.
Thanks.